pointing out the irony of his current stance of immigration, considering his own controversial past as an immigrant without proper documentation. Here's the video causing all the buzz.
David, for us to hear, we'll give you $3 million.
Yeah, it sounded extremely, we thought they were crazy. Like, why would they do that?
It was literally like, these people are insane.
So they obviously do not realize we're sleeping in the office.
In fact, when they did fund us, they realized that we were illegal immigrants.
Well, I mean,
yes, we were.
I'd say it's a gray area.
Yeah, yes, we were. We were illegal immigrants.
And finally, of course, all the yammering on and on and on and on and on and on over the years about voter ID and registration and blah, blah, blah. And here's billionaire Vivek Ramaswamy having to admit on major mainstream media that his father ain't won this.
Did your father also take the citizenship test, and is your father a citizen?
He did not, and that's a choice that he has made for familial reasons, but my mother did, and I think that every immigrant who comes to this country in order to become a full voting citizen has to do the same. And I believe in being consistent about my policies where...
So your father is not a citizen?
Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy. 14th Amendment birthright citizenship. What does it mean to be a citizen, and what does it mean if you're not in this breaking story? Because Donald Trump has tried to lay down his own law and his own thoughts about how he's going to handle this on day one. And yet, sometimes, as the old cliche goes, those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Take a listen. I'm going to show you the breaking story in just a couple seconds. You won't believe what's going on in this country regarding a certain degree of concern amongst people, oh yeah, in uniforms. But take a listen to this regarding Trump and his family and being a legal citizen.
If Donald Trump ends birthright citizenship, would that affect his own children? Trump told Meet the Press earlier this month that people should not be granted citizenship just because they were born on U.S. soil. That right is enshrined in the 14th Amendment, so it'll be hard for Trump to change that law. If he does manage to change it, though, some on social media are speculating it would affect the children he had with his ex-wife Ivana and his current wife Melania, who were born outside the U.S.
And then, of course, on top of that, if you have not seen the video of Elon Musk and his brother talking about getting government funding while being illegal immigrants, here's this.
Critics are pointing
Of the United States.
He's not.
Okay.
And so finally, in this breaking story, but you have over 430,000 National Guard members across this country, people who run hardware stores and who are policemen, etc., who are completely panicked that Donald Trump is going to try and force them into mass deportation. Take a listen to this. Breaking news. National Guard confusion as troops fear turning into Trump's deportation Gestapo. Some National Guard troops are concerned they'll be called up to implement Donald Trump's mass deportation plans like a Hitler-era Gestapo that must enforce the incoming president's far-right policies against undocumented immigrants. Politico reported Sunday that some 435,000 troops worry they'll get pulled into a legally murky mission rooting out people in communities where they have day jobs such as sheriffs, cops, or firefighters. But border czar Tom Homan claimed his top priority would be rooting out criminals and gang members, in quotes. Homan initially planned to begin the raids in Chicago, home to a high migrant population, but may be reassessing that location after it was leaked to the media. Republican governors have vowed to deploy the state-run National Guard to help achieve Trump's ends, which he claimed would begin on day one, in quotes, of his presidency, which begins Monday. However, Politico reports that Jack Detch, Liz Crampton, and Liz Kaczynski wrote that, in quotes, blue states with control of their own guard could simply refuse to go along. If that's the case, Trump has a range of options, they wrote. He could leave the National Guard under state control but give troops federal funding to tackle the deportation mission, although that would allow individual governors to retain authority over their troops. Trump also could call the Guard up to active duty status, which would give him greater ability to control troops in blue states and order them across state lines. The Political report quoted an anonymous senior military official who said Guard members, in quotes, don't want to be seen as being part of a Gestapo that's forced to carry out large-scale deportations. But Trump believes the American people granted him a mandate to carry through with mass deportation since it was a cornerstone of his campaign for president. Trump also ran on the promise that he would close the southern border with Mexico and vowed to end, in quotes, birthright citizenship, a right that's firmly ensconced in the 14th Amendment. Yeah. What does it mean to be a citizen of this country? We know what it means legally, and this is one of the best subject matters in politics in America and one of the best conversations in American politics that the GOP and the Democrats, when you're supposed to serve we the people, refuse to solve. You want me to go back to Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush Sr., W., Clinton, Obama? No one has solved it. I wonder why. When the truth of the matter is, it really isn't that difficult to have a program for all of the tax-paying DACA kids who were born here, for all of the people who are illegal to be pushed into a program for citizenship along with learning English. It actually wouldn't be that difficult because those folks do the work, a lot of the work in this country that makes so many farmers well off and makes so many of us pay far less at the grocery store. And yet, for some reason, a country this powerful just can't seem to solve it. And I assure you, politically, there's a reason why. It's going to continue being a football and it's going to continue being BS because that's exactly what it is. And now you're going to pit Americans against Americans because you want to be Putin. That's exactly who Donald Trump wants to be. Guys, stay calm, talk amongst your friends, talk with those you disagree with, but always, stay frosty.
War into office. Three sources familiar with the talks told CNN as President-elect seeks to facilities on open dialogue with Beijing while also pursuing hardline stance on the country. Trump has expressed interest in visiting several countries once presidents, two of sources said, including India, to meet with the country Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with whom he has long had a warm relationship with. The Wall Street Journal first reported on Trump's telling advisor he wants to travel to China. Trump, who campaigned on aggressively target China through tariffs and other measures, spoke by phone with Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday. The two discussed trade, fentanyl, and TikTok, among other issues, the president-elect said. Trump also invited Xi to attend his inauguration on Monday, but China is instead sending Vice President Han Zheng.